Well, back to Fog Racing, and we're here to review the final race of the F1 2020 season. It wasn't really that spectacular, so we'll just get stuck straight into the classification. Yeah, I mean, Abu Dhabi, man, as a season finale, it is utter dog shit, right? I'm not going to beat around it, but it's pish. It's awful. It's like, you would think with those two long straights, you'd get good racing, right? But no, the problem is, it's the build up and the aftermath of those two straights. Like, see, like the thirds in the first sector, they're awful. They're awful. See, for racing, like, it's hard to think of a track that is that twisty in the third sector, and even the start of the first, like the way you go on to the final, like the pit straight is really small. See, if the pit straight was longer, maybe you could, you know, but it's just like, it's, even if you're close to the car ahead, right, you're gonna, say you get within like 3 tenths at the end of the second straight, you're going to be straight back up to 9 tenths going back, and you're just going to, a lot of it's just repeat. Look how long it took them to get past like Vettel and Leclerc, and those are Ferrari engines, shocking. So I mean, there's really no excuse. But awful track. But the less said about that, the better. And this race more or less went as exactly as I thought it would. I expected Max to win. I didn't expect Hamilton to beat Bottas, just due to the fact Hamilton obviously still marking it about COVID, saying, "Oh well." I mean, it's funny how. I mean, I'm not saying the guy's lying, like, but it's funny how he's like, "Oh, I'm ready to rock," right? And then he gets in the car, he gets beat the pole, and then he starts greeting about it. Mate, just take it in the chin. But Red Bull definitely looked better this week. I mean, I don't know if I'd go as far as say they were the better car, because if they were, well, I mean, they probably were, to be honest. For Albon to be that close, yeah, they would have to be. But Albon doing what he should be doing every week, right? So see anyone that says, "Oh, this is why he should keep his drop," no, right? Because see if Perez, I think if Perez is in that Red Bull, it's a Red Bull 1-2. That's the bottom line. Albon, though, not I mean, a decent race for Alexander Albon, but it should be the least of it. I mean, that Red Bull is so much better than the rest of the other cars. I get it, some other tracks this season where it's like more straight line speed. It hasn't really been. Like, I think a Monza, even the last race, it wasn't as good, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, come on, Albon, mate, you don't deserve that drive. If you do keep it, which you probably will, you need to up your game. McLaren secured third in the constructors. Danny Rick with a decent strategy. Then it was Gasly. Then it was Ocon. Then it was Stroll. Kvyat, Raikkonen, both Ferraris, man. That Ferrari's awful. I cannot wait till they get a better engine. And Brundle said there's serious positive vibes about next year's engine, because obviously there wasn't much. There was like there was an essential engine freeze this year, because we only allowed one upgrade, which was shit. So obviously, if you start off with an awful engine, you can't really do much about it. So I guarantee you, right, if Ferrari had any sense, the development of this car really should have ceased once they discovered that it's going to be absolute pish and they can't win hee-haw. So they should have been developing next year's car for a long while, you know, especially on that engine, trying to find a loophole to get the power back. See if they get the power back that they had in 2019. I mean, Mercedes does look a lot better than it did in 2019, to be honest. But again, Ferrari were that quick down the straights, man. They'll be right back up there. Yes, it will rob us of a few midfield podiums and all, but McLaren getting the Mercedes engine, and with, I mean, Racing Point probably going to copy this year's Mercedes, man, you know. You never know. But then it was Russell coming crashing down back to earth with 15th, Giovinazzi in 16th, Latifi 17th, and then both halves boys rounding out the grid, and Perez retired with an engine failure. But yeah, guys, that'll do it for the race. I mean, there's not a lot to talk about. Nothing happened in that race. I won money. I won a bet. That's all I asked for the day. A boring race and the bet to win, and it happened. So I'm not complaining. Till next time, guys, we'll be back with a season review soon. Until the 2021 season, though. Peace.